He kidnapped her to end a 20-year mafia war, and told her she would become his wife whether she wanted to or not. Isabella Romano had been raised to hate Adrian Moretti, New York's most feared mafia boss. To her, he was the enemy who stole her freedom. But when betrayal turned both their families against them, Adrian did something she never expected. He gave her freedom back, even if it meant losing her forever. And that was when Isabella realized the most dangerous thing about her captor wasn't that she feared him. It was that she was beginning to fall in love with him. Rain hammered the streets of New York when Isabella Romano realized the black SUV had been following her for 6 blocks. She tightened her grip on the steering wheel. "Come on." Her phone showed no signal. The SUV suddenly accelerated. Isabella barely had time to react before another vehicle appeared in front of her. She slammed the brakes. Her car stopped inches from it. 3 men stepped into the rain. Her heart dropped. She knew exactly who they worked for. Adrian Moretti, the man her father had warned her about since childhood. The Morettis and Romanos had been enemies for almost 20 years. Blood had been spilled on both sides, and Isabella had grown up hearing one rule: never trust a Moretti. She locked the doors. A fist struck her window. Miss Romano opened the door. "Go to hell." The window shattered. Isabella screamed. Minutes later, darkness swallowed her. When she woke, she was lying on a velvet sofa in an enormous bedroom. She immediately ran toward the door. Open it." Silence. She grabbed a lamp and raised it like a weapon. The lock clicked. A tall man entered. Black suit, dark hair, cold eyes. Adrian Moretti, the most feared mafia boss in New York. Isabella threw the lamp. Adrian moved aside, and it smashed against the wall. "You kidnapped me. You noticed. You think this is funny." "No." He closed the door. Isabella stepped backward. "If you touch me, my father will burn everything you own." Adrian's expression changed. "Your father already tried." Hatred filled her chest. "My family didn't kill your brother." Adrian stared at her. "My brother died in a warehouse owned by your father." "That doesn't prove anything." "It proves enough." "Then kill me." For the first time, Adrian looked surprised. Isabella lifted her chin despite the fear shaking through her body. "If revenge is what you want, do it." Adrian walked toward her. She refused to move. He stopped inches away. "I didn't bring you here to kill you." "Then what do you want?" Adrian pulled a small black box from his pocket. He opened it. Inside was a diamond ring. Isabella stared at it. Then at him. "No. I haven't asked yet." "You don't need to." Adrian placed the box on the table. "Tomorrow night, our families are meeting." "Why?" "To end the war." Isabella laughed bitterly. "You kidnapped me to negotiate peace." "No." His eyes remained on hers. "I kidnapped you because tomorrow you're going to become my wife." The room seemed to stop breathing. "What?" "A marriage between Moretti and Romano ends the war. Your father loses his excuse to attack me, and my men stop hunting his." "You're insane." "Probably." "I will never marry you." Adrian's jaw tightened. "You will. You can't force someone to love you." "I didn't ask for love." Those words hurt her more than she expected. "This is business," he continued. "Nothing more." Isabella picked up the ring box and threw it at his chest. "I would rather die." Adrian caught it. For several seconds neither spoke. Then he quietly said, "That's exactly what I'm trying to prevent." Isabella froze. Adrian walked toward the door. "Your father's enemies know where you live, where you work, and which coffee shop you visit every morning." She stared at him. "What are you talking about?" Adrian stopped. "The war isn't only between our families anymore." He looked over his shoulder. "Someone wants both families destroyed." "Who?" "I don't know." "Then why should I believe you?" "You shouldn't." He opened the door. "But until I discover who betrayed us, this house is the safest place for you. I'm your prisoner." Adrian's expression hardened. "For now." He stepped outside. Isabella ran after him. Adrian! He stopped. She hated herself for asking, but something about his words terrified her. If someone is really coming after me, why do you care whether I live? For the first time, the ruthless mafia boss couldn't look her in the eyes. Because your father wasn't the only person watching you all these years. The door closed, and Isabella stood frozen. Because suddenly, being kidnapped by her enemy wasn't the most frightening thing anymore. It was wondering why Adrian Moretti had been watching her long before tonight. The next evening, Isabella stood before a mirror wearing a white wedding dress. She hated everything about it. The diamonds, the flowers, the mansion filled with armed men. Especially the ring on the table. Knock came. Go away. The door opened anyway. Adrian entered. Isabella turned furiously. I said go away. I heard you. Apparently kidnapping damages hearing. Almost a smile touched his face. Almost. Then Isabella noticed blood on his shirt. You're hurt. It's nothing. That's not nothing. Adrian looked down as though he'd forgotten about it. Someone attacked one of our cars. Her anger disappeared. Who? The same people we're looking for. He stumbled slightly. Isabella instinctively caught his arm. Both froze. It was the first time she'd touched him willingly. Adrian slowly looked at her hand. Isabella released him. Sit down. I don't need. Sit. To her surprise, New York's most feared mafia boss obeyed. She cleaned the wound with supplies from the bathroom. Adrian watched her silently. You could hurt me right now, he said. I've considered it. Why don't you? Isabella met his eyes. Because I'm not you. Something painful crossed his face. You think you know what I am. You kidnapped me. To keep you alive. And you're forcing me into marriage. To keep hundreds of people alive. You always have an excuse. No. His voice became quieter. I have consequences. Isabella stopped. Adrian looked toward the window. My father taught me that power meant never giving anyone a choice. I hated him for it. Yet you're doing exactly what he did. The words struck him. Adrian said nothing. Then he stood. Take off the dress. Isabella stared at him. What? There will be no wedding tonight. Why? Because you're right. He walked toward the door. I became the man I hated. Adrian. He stopped. If this marriage happens, Isabella, you'll choose it. Then he left. For the first time, she didn't see a monster walking away. She saw a lonely man carrying an empire he had never wanted. Hours later, gunshots erupted downstairs. Isabella screamed. The bedroom door burst open. Adrian entered holding a gun. We're leaving. What happened? Betrayal. They escaped through a hidden passage beneath the mansion. Outside, Adrian pushed Isabella into a car. A bullet struck the window. Another shattered the mirror. Drive! Adrian shouted. Car sped away. 20 minutes later they reached an abandoned church outside the city. Adrian locked the doors. Isabella noticed his hands trembling. Who attacked us? Adrian's face had gone pale. My uncle. Why? He started the war. Isabella stared. Adrian continued. He killed my brother and planted evidence against your father. Why would he do that? To make our families destroy each other so he could take control. Isabella felt sick. 20 years of hatred. Funerals. Revenge. All built on a lie. My father doesn't know. Then we tell him. Adrian shook his head. My uncle has men inside both families. Isabella looked at him. So we're alone. Yes. Side headlights appeared. Adrian immediately stepped in front of her. The church doors exploded open. Armed men entered. Adrian raised his gun. But Isabella suddenly understood something. He wasn't hiding behind her. He was shielding her. The man she'd spent her entire life fearing was willing to die first. Adrian! Stay behind me. And in that terrifying moment, Isabella realized the enemy she'd been taught to hate might be the only person she could trust. The first bullet hit Adrian in the shoulder. Adrian! Isabella caught him as he fell behind a wooden pew. Gunfire tore through the church. "I'm fine," he grunted. "You've been shot. I've had worse. This isn't the time to impress me." Despite everything, Adrian laughed. Isabella stared at him. "What? Nothing. You're laughing while people are trying to kill us. I've never heard anyone yell at me after I've been shot. Get used to it." Their eyes met. For one impossible second, the war disappeared. Then Adrian handed her his phone. "Call your father. You said. Trust me," Isabella called. Adrian had already sent evidence exposing his uncle. Bank transfers, recordings and photographs proving years of betrayal. Her father answered. "Isabella. Dad." His voice broke. "Where are you?" "With Adrian." "Get away from him." "Dad, listen to me." She looked at the wounded man beside her. "Adrian isn't our enemy." Silence. Then Isabella told him everything. 20 minutes later, Romano vehicles surrounded the church. Adrian's uncle and his men were trapped. For the first time in 20 years, Moretti and Romano soldiers stood on the same side. By sunrise, the war was over. 3 weeks later, Isabella stood on the balcony of her father's home. She was free. No guards prevented her from leaving. No locked doors. No forced wedding. Yet something felt missing. Black car stopped outside. Adrian stepped out. His shoulder was still healing. Isabella's heart betrayed her immediately. He approached but kept his distance. "I came to return something." He placed the diamond ring box on the table. Isabella frowned. "I already threw that at you once." "I remember." "Then why bring it back?" "Because it belonged to my mother." Her expression softened. "She loved my father before power destroyed him," Adrian said. "I thought marriage was just another weapon. And now I know it shouldn't be." He pushed the box toward her. "Keep it or throw it away. Your choice." Isabella stared at him. "You're giving me a choice now. I should have from the beginning." Adrian turned to leave. "Where are you going?" "Home." "That's it." He stopped. "What else can I do?" "You kidnapped me." "I know." "You threatened me." "I know." "You told me I had to marry you." "I know." "And now you're just walking away." His voice softened. "Because loving you doesn't give me the right to keep you." Isabella stopped breathing. "You love me." Adrian looked almost annoyed with himself. "I've loved you longer than I should admit." "Since when?" "Years." "Why?" "You once visited a hospital after one of our family's fights. A Moretti soldier was there. Everyone else treated him like a criminal." Adrian smiled faintly. "You brought him water." Isabella remembered. "I didn't know you saw that." "I did. And that's why you watched me. At first. And later. Later, I was simply an idiot in love with his enemy's daughter." She laughed through unexpected tears. Adrian turned away. "Goodbye, Isabella." "Adrian." He stopped. She walked toward him. Then she picked up the ring. His eyes widened. "Don't misunderstand," she said. "I'm still angry." "Understandable. And if you ever kidnap me again." "I won't. I'm not finished." He closed his mouth. Isabella smiled. "If you ever try controlling my life again, I'll make you regret surviving that church." "I believe you." She held out the ring. "But if you ask me properly." Adrian stared at her. "You can't be serious. For once in your life, stop talking." He slowly took the ring. Then, instead of commanding her, Adrian Moretti went down on one knee. "Isabella Romano, will you marry me?" She looked at the man she'd once believed was her greatest enemy. The man who had taken away her freedom, then learned to give it back. The man who had stood between her and a bullet without hesitation. Their story hadn't begun with love. It had begun with hatred, fear, and a terrible mistake. But love wasn't beautiful because their beginning had been perfect. It was beautiful because they had chosen to become better than their past. Isabella smiled through her tears. Yes. Adrian slipped the ring onto her finger. 6 months later, the wedding happened. This time there were no locked doors, no threats, no prisoners. And when Isabella walked toward Adrian, she wasn't an enemy being forced to marry a mafia boss. She was a woman walking freely toward the man she had chosen. Their families called the marriage the end of a 20-year war. But Isabella knew better. It was the beginning of something neither family had believed possible. And for Adrian and Isabella, love